Ian, usually you think you score 114 points, probably come away with a win. What did you see out there?
Credit to Brisbane to start with. They kept that starting five out there for a lot, and they all produced pretty well. I was sitting there adding up what their starters did, and then I should have just looked at there was only one field goal made outside of their starting group. So that group's 40 of 60 from the field kind of thing, and so credit to them, the way they played, the way they shot it. But it was probably for us, it was just like every time we've played them so far, it's been a really high foul count, and so spent a lot of time talking about our foul discipline, and I'm sure we'll go back and review, and there'll be 7 or 8 that they can get out of it and say we can be much better. Felt like it was a pretty, heavily blown kind of game and stuff, which probably just didn't suit us against them. But offense, was still had its moments where we probably shot it a little bit quick and did some things, but we shot it at a good clip. Made our 11 threes still. Just when you're a step off, and whether that's just from the travel or whatever it is, but we got some coverages wrong. We were a little step off. Their isolation game of attacking us off the bounce was effective for them, and obviously Tyrell was great around the rim today.
Do you have any concerns when you think back about the coverages, or is it sort of talented players making tough shots and you sort of shake their hand up?
Yeah, we spent a fair bit of time in the coach's office, like, what do we do differently? Is there more switching? Is there more aggressive coverage? And we obviously just talked about the ones in our coverages that we wanted to get done, to say, hey, these are the ones where we were either a step off and we didn't do it well enough, or didn't quite get the communication right, and you're probably always going to have 3 or 4 in a game. I just thought they were a pretty elite offensive team today.
Is it kind of just like almost a bit of like high stakes poker? You've got 36-7 bench points, but they're really going in deep with their starting 5, and they just end up winning. It's sort of like, I would say just shake their hand in a way.
Yeah, I guess we talked about it at halftime to say that they were playing their starters pretty heavy minutes, and could we continue to move guys and keep enough pressure on them and wear them down a little bit? But I didn't think that was a factor in the end. I thought they didn't get to that point where they got to such a tired level that they gave us easy ones. So, I thought Ian, missing the game the other night. I thought, his ability to chase and work really hard, was fantastic. And, the ones Cook made, it's like, tip your hat a little bit. The 3 made in the corner, he made some really tough ones. And I think there's some other guys that say, we just weren't quite at the level, or, but they took their opportunities tonight and they really played well.
I guess there was about 50 odd fouls and 60 odd free throws combined tonight. What did you sort of make of the reffing? Was there any issues with that? You seemed a little bit animated on the sidelines at times.
Yeah, I got a tech, which I didn't think I deserved, but I think it was whatever I was going to said. The next thing that came out of my mouth, they must have thought I'd said too much. So it wasn't, probably wasn't what I said in that moment, because I think I just said you bailed. That was a bailout call, and I didn't, obviously you don't normally think that's enough to get a tech, but obviously what I'd done previously they felt was too much. But I just thought it was a little overblown, and I just thought you fall over, or there's a little bit of contact, and it was getting blown tonight. So if that's the case, and we always look at ourselves to say we know how it's being reffed. Are we taking advantage of it offensively, and are we adjusting defensively? And sometimes that's difficult to try and change your style about how you play and who you are.
Did you find that the plays might have tensed up a little bit down the stretch? Like some pretty critical shots were missed down the stretch from some of your most reliable guys. How did you sort of see that?
I don't think we tightened up. I thought the good shots there. We came up with some KO boards and got second ones and different things like that. So I'm not too concerned about that.
Ian, what's the challenge of guarding? You think about their 3 and 4s, you guys guarding them as a collective, knowing that they're probably going to get 80-90% of the usage. on that team? What's the challenge there?
I mean, just trying to be connected as much as possible. You know, that's one of the things that we talked about all week was, you know, trying to limit those guys, getting easy ones. Obviously keeping off the foul line. And I think, you know, early in the game they got to the foul line, and I think it got them in a rhythm. So the tough shots that we were trying to force them into, you know, they go in. And you know, some of them you tip your hat, but I think, you know, like I said, we go back and watch film. I think we know we can be better, especially coming off the game we just had when we, I think we were elite defensively. You know, that's one of the things that we're gonna, you know, take hard this week.
What was the experience like being part of a game where it seemed like no side could miss, and then, you know, you've been part of those games before, I'm sure. What's the key to switching that off and making sure that your team comes out on top next time?
I mean, I just trying to get one stop at a time, and I think this when you make it difficult, you know, one time. The next time is a little easier. Next time a little easier because the guys they aren't in a rhythm. I think, you know, it was hard to get them out of rhythm even when we, you know, force tough shots. Maybe we put them on the foul lines and they, you know, go to the free throw line and hit a couple shots and they still feel good about themselves. So I think that's the biggest key.
And you just sort of see it as a situation where you're pretty clear on top of the ladder. Is it almost like a time reminder, like just how tough the league can be, and not to like a reminder for the fellas not to get too complacent, I guess.
Now I think we got a good group there to try to take one game at a time. You know, we don't look at the ladder and look at the standings too much. I think it's about each week, you know, respecting our opponent, but also just coming in and trying to get better. And you know, obviously, you know, this week, you know, we went 1-1, but you know, we'll go and get ready for Friday as best we can.
Dean, what's impressing you most about Rob's game over the past few weeks, especially this week? It just seems like everything's going in. He's in the right spots. He's sort of the perfect big out there for you guys. What are you liking the most?
Yeah, no hesitation on his shot right now, and then, you know, I thought even you saw it later in the game. You know, they played him a little bit tighter. He starts taking it off the bounce, and you know, then he has the ability to either attack and be a facilitator for us and make extra passes or get to the rim. So yeah, he's a tough cover, and people are going to throw different things at him right now, whether that be switches or rotates or different things. So we just got to continue to, you know, play off him at different times to keep that spacing and keep the advantage, and you know, make sure that we've got the counters for whatever they throw at him. But yeah, I think I think the way he's sprinting as well, like he's really getting out and pushing pace for us, as well as, you know, setting early step-ups and punch screens as well. So, yeah, playing at an elite level.
When do you think Chris might be back?
Yeah, I think it was always, you know, at the open air game was the one that would kind of target it. And so, you know, as far as I understand, he's on track for that.
It's just like a pretty important period, I guess, an opportunity for the fellas to sort of show that they can sort of step up in his absence, I guess.
Yeah, you know, those guys have been, and we've done a good job as a club to continue to have people ready to step in, and the extra work that we've put into people, and you know, Campbell short minutes. You know, Tom Coppins comes in for a couple of minutes and rests Whitey tonight. You know, I thought Ketch was fantastic in New Zealand, so you know, Tanner probably didn't quite have the one he liked tonight, and Flynn, you know, and that's the consistency we were going to ask for them. These guys over this little period is, you know, can they be great or really solid every night? You know, while CG's out, and so I'm sure they'll be better Friday.
Dean, on a positive note, one of your staffers proposed in the crowd, Tom Lewis. Obviously, not the result you wanted, but were you able to see that during the game at all, or did someone flag it to you?
Oh, I just heard it in the coach's office then, so yeah, fan appreciation game and Tom Lewis appreciation game, so yeah, I thought, you know, our fans were great tonight. They kept us in it, and you know, he lives this club and has done an amazing job in his role in operations, and yeah, really happy for him to do it at a game, which is was it a surprise? Was it a full surprise? So awesome. Well done to him.
That's cute. Awesome. Well done.
Cheers.
Thanks.